I honestly think this might be the most raw track that I've ever made.
I think I like your touch.
Yo, for real though, the way the drums are, the way they're pushed up front, the way it's distorted. Yeah, this is way more stripped back than what I usually do. Let's break it down.
I think I like your touch.
So with this track, I was really focusing on the groove and these dirty distortions. As we listen to this build right here, very small build, we'll hear the distorted grooves coming in. So all of the groove is coming from three fundamentals. The first fundamental is, of course, these drums. We got the hats here. We got the percussion here. And then, of course, we just got the kick with it. With the kick, we don't just have it fall to the floor. We also have this offbeat kind of bouncy beat. Yeah, and put those together and you got these. But I also have an extra sample down here. So alongside all of those drums, we also have another element carrying a lot of groove. That is the bass. Listen to that. If I put a kick with that right now. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Feel me? But I also have this extra layer here on the offbeat, giving a little bit more space. Yeah, there's a lot of delay on this guy. And then we put the sub back in. Yeah, it's doing something. So now if we put the bass together with the drums, we get this. And the last fundamental, which is carrying a lot of groove, well, besides this extra drum sample here, which should be up there, we have these extra kind of glitchy offbeat one-shot sounds. And then if we combine that back into everything, we get this. So as you can see, all of these fundamentals here, the drums, and then these extra one-shot sounds, offbeat, always on the offbeat, and then of course the bass line. That's just groove central, man. Yo, not to forget as well, this extra little loop in the background, which is more in the midsection. Yeah, that's doing a lot. Yeah. Removing that, you don't have that mid frequency, which you kind of want. Extra loop here as well. Amen break. Well, in this next section, we got a new element. A little lead carrying a lot of distortion, complementing with those drums. Added these extra little sounds here. Yeah, so all of these sounds are really distorted, dirty pieces of extra audio, kind of ear candy. So you might be thinking, okay, where do you take a song like this, where it's very loop-based and it's very stripped back, just down to the groove, down to the drums, and down to this small ear candy? Well, in this next section, I've broken the track down.
I think I like your touch. Your hands across my face.
It's a switch up here. I've introduced a new bass layer here. I'll give it a longer play. Bringing it back up again. No major build going on. And then we go back into it.
I think I like your touch.
Yeah. Yeah, so to keep this song from not being too boring, instead of letting it play out the whole track with just beats and just stripped back energy, I decided to make this little breakdown, introduce some new elements to it, some more musical elements, filter the drums out, and then bring it back into a bit of a bigger drop, but not too big. So for the new elements that I introduced was this new bass line, kind of a wubby thing. This creates tension already, you know? Also this new kind of melodic element here. It doesn't sound a lot when you play it by itself, but in combination with the rest of the elements, it adds a lot. Also added another kind of grim bass. Grim. Also recorded a vocal, but this is the vocal which is literally playing throughout the whole track.
I think I like your touch.
Because this section was a little bit darker, I recorded something else.
Your hands across my face. Such a disgrace. Your hands across my face. Such a disgrace.
So then all of those elements together.
Your hands across my face. Such a disgrace.
Yeah, these melodic elements popping through a lot.
Your hands across.
Filtering in the drums slowly. And then the next section, I just bring this kick back in.
Your hands across my face. Such a disgrace.
Then over here we have a silence before the drop hits. We just have the vocal. We've taken the kick out.
Such a disgrace. I think I like your touch.
This cheeky one shot here playing right before the vocal hits.
I think I like your touch.
Okay, so for this second drop, I went a little bit bigger and I have introduced these new bass wubs. So without the bass wubs, it would sound like this, pretty much the same as the first. Just with the new synths. So I brought those in. These new melodic hits. Drums are pretty much the same besides this second section. I've added a little bit more groove. And then just some extra ear candy. Also did this cool switch before it hit the second part of the drop. So what I did here for this switch for the second part of the drop was I took out the lows for the last 2 bars of the drop and the first 2 bars of the next part of the drop. Well, actually 3 bars. And then I brought it back in here so you'll be able to see. Off. And when I bring the bass back in, I get rid of the drums on this last hit here and just have the kick and the bass. It's a really cool effect. So no bass, a lot of highs, bass, and then it goes back into it. Also with a bunch of rides up here. And then it drops again. So it's like a mini drop. It's creating a little bit of different energy. Yeah, it keeps it exciting. And then yeah, bringing the vocal in here. Oh yeah, forgot about this part. Also kind of wanted to keep it a bit more interesting over here, so I even took out all of the drums and the lows. And then filtered the drums back in again.
I think I like your touch.
And then yeah, we go into this last switch over here. With this last section, I wanted to give it a bit more of a melody, bring in even more musical elements. Yeah. Doesn't sound great by itself, but you put it all back in together and it sounds like this. Yeah. And then for the drums for this one, just added some claps in here. Super grooves. Yeah, it gets fun. Yeah, and then I do a similar switch like over there. Again. Right here. No bass, bass, back in. Yeah, these wubby guys over here do a lot to the track, in my opinion. Hey. Actually, I played a lot with automating the lows out of the master on this track. Let's just have a look at the automation lane. Yeah, you can see this is bringing in and taking out the bass throughout the whole track. I'm doing it a lot, especially in these switches. Taking the bass out. Like right here. Bass out. In. And then again. Bass out. Bass out, bass out. And then I bring it in again.
I think I like your touch.
And then onto the outro. But yeah, guys, this was it. If you like this track, you can go and grab it. It's on my Patreon right now. Go join my Patreon. You can grab this track as well as other exclusives. Get down to business. I've also just put out my first making of production video up on my Patreon. So if you want to watch me produce in real time, then you can. The first one is an hour and 15 minutes of me just producing on a track. And you'll be able to hear that track soon. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you learned some things. And I'll see you in the next one. Let's go!